Hello students, this is the second video under acid, bases and salts. In the first part, we have done about the basic definitions of acid, bases and salts and about the pH, power of hydrogen. So now we know that acids are from 0 to 7 on the pH scale. 7 is neutral of water and 7 to 14 is of bases or alkalis. 14 is the strongest base or alkali and 0 or 1 is the strongest acid or acid. So this you know. Now in day to day, in our daily life, we see some pH values in our different systems. So importance of pH in day-to-day life we will discuss in brief. So first is in our digestive system. All of you know, you have learned about the digestive system in human beings. You know that in our stomach, dilute hydrochloric acid is secreted from the gastric glands. And this acid is for digestion of food. How? It made the medium acidic so that the enzyme for protein works. So its pH in our stomach is 1.2. You know there is no unit for pH. So just the pH is 1.2. It means it is a strong acid. It is because 1 is the strongest. So 1.2 is the strong pH for hydrochloric acid in our stomach. And what happens when somebody feels acidity? Then what happens? This acid it increases in the stomach. To neutralize this acid in the stomach, we have to take some base like milk of magnesia or Digene as a medicine, or some soda bicarb dissolved in water. So these mild bases can neutralize the acidity of HCl in the stomach and one feels comfortable. So this is about the importance of pH in digestive system. Next is the pH of our mouth. All of you know, sometimes we have tooth decay due to carie formation and some enamel problem in our tooth. So the enamel which is there on our teeth, it is calcium phosphate, Ca3PO4 whole twice. This is the formula of calcium phosphate. This is the strongest compound in our body. So this forms enamel on our teeth. What happens when we eat some sugar or some food even, and if we do not brush or do not rinse our mouth, what happens? The bacteria, they act on this sugar or food, and bacteria, they produce certain acids. So when acidic medium is there in our mouth, then this calcium phosphate or enamel, it starts decaying. So the pH of our mouth should be more than 5.5. 7 is the neutral. So 5.5 is on acidic, this is on acidic side, but the pH of our mouth should be on alkaline side, more than 7. So if it is acidic, then the enamel, it decayed and we have problem with our teeth. So this is about the pH of our mouth. Next is pH of soil. Soil may be acidic or soil may be basic. Different plants need different type of soils. Some grow well in acidic soil, some grow well in basic soil. So the pH of the soil can be tested by dissolving the soil in water. Take the upper part of water and we can test it by universal indicator. It is basic or it is acidic. If we need acidic soil, then we put some fertilizer having acidic effect. If we need basic soil, then we put the basic fertilizers like lime, calcium hydroxide or other basic fertilizer to make it basic. In this way, pH of soil, it affects the growth of different plants. Next is self-defense. What is self-defense? In animals and plants, both want to protect themselves. In some wasp or in some insects like honeybee, you must be knowing about the sting of honeybee. Then ants, these, if they sting a person, honeybee or ants, then there is a swelling on the skin and irritation on the skin. Why? Because their stings, they have methanoic acid. This acid is for self-defense of these insects. And if they sting some person, then this methanoic acid, it causes irritation and rashes even on the skin. So it can be diluted, it can be neutralized by mild base. If we rub some soda bicarb or soda bicarb, it is sodium hydrogen carbonate. So if sodium hydrogen carbonate is rubbed on that area, it will neutralize the effect of this methanoic acid. This methanoic acid is also present in a plant known as nettle plant. The botanical name is Urtica. It is found in the hills like Uttarakhand and other hilly places. These nettle plants, it has leaves like this. It also has sting. By touching this plant leaves only, because it also has methanoic acid, by touching only we can have rashes and red swelling on our skin. It is also being diluted or neutralized by some dilute or some mild base. So this is about defense in animal and plants. And one more, wasp are also insects. These have, instead of acids, they have base as their defense mechanism, and this, the effect of this base, it can be neutralized by rubbing vinegar or dilute acetic acid. So this is about importance of pH in our day-to-day life. Now next, if we want to classify acids, so they can be classified into two ways. This is classification. One, the acids may be mineral acids and they may be organic acids. So organic means they came from living things like animals or plants. So the acids which are coming from living beings, those are known as organic acids, and which are man-made by the minerals of the earth, they are known as mineral acids. Now the example of organic acids are many, like the most common is acetic acid, then lactic acid, then citric acid, then tartaric acid and oxalic acid and some more. So these are, all these, they are coming from the plants. Acetic acid, all of you know, is CH3COOH. Lactic, this acetic acid, it is from vinegar, or it can be produced by sugar cane and other things also, other plants also, and commonly it is known as vinegar, and it is acetic acid. Then lactic acid from curd, then citric acid from oranges, limes or citrus fruits, tartaric acid from tamarind, and oxalic acid from tomato. So these are different organic acids we get from different plants. Now mineral acids. The most important mineral acid are, you know, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and this is carbonic acid, H2CO3. These are made from the minerals of the earth crust. That is, they are man-made. And so, these are organic, these are mineral. There is one more classification of acid, whether acid is strong or acid is weak. So, we can have strong acids and we can have weak acids. Now, what is the strong and weak acids? So, all the mineral acids, they are very strong acid except this carbonic acid. This is carbonic. Except this carbonic acid, all the mineral acids, they are strong. I will tell you just now how they are strong and how they are weak. All these organic acids, they are weak acids and these are edible also. We can eat in our food, but we cannot eat because they are strong and corrosive. They are harmful. But this carbonic acid, though it is mineral, it is a weak acid. So, what are weak and strong? Suppose we have two beakers. In one, we have HCl, hydrochloric acid. In the other, we have carbonic acid, H2CO3. We know both are mineral acids and it is strong and it is weak. What make it strong and what make it weak? This HCl, it ionizes completely in aqueous solution. In water, H and Cl, both ions, they completely dissociated with each other. So, all the molecules of HCl, now they convert into ions, H ions and Cl ions, cations and anions. So, the acid which completely or 98%, 97%, 99% ionizes or dissociate in aqueous solution, those are known as strong acids. All these acids, they dissociate completely in water and their ions are formed and we cannot see any molecule or very little 1% or 2% molecule of HCl. They are there. About 98, 99 or even 100% HCl is dissociated in water forming anion and cation. So the more strong acid, more dissociation is there. What about this weak acid? This is in this, we have this in the water solution or aqueous solution, we have this molecule of carbonic acid and some ions are also there. H ion plus HCO3 ion is minus. So, some ions are also there and some molecules are also there. So, weak acids, they do not ionize completely in aqueous solution. Their dissociation is not complete. Some molecules are there and some molecules, they ionizes or dissociated in cations and anions. So, more weak acids, they have more molecules and less ions. And strong acids, they have more ions and very less molecules. So, all the organic acids like acetic, lactic, all these acids, they are weak acids as they ionize incompletely in water. So, this is about the classification of acids. So, next we will come to how an acid can be diluted. First, we will see action of water on acid. So, we will see it first, how if water is mixed in acid, how it performs. Suppose again we are taking the example of hydrochloric acid when it is put in water. What happens? H ion and Cl ion. It dissociates into cation and anion, and HL, Cl, chloride ions, they are formed. Now this H positive, it reacts with water and a new ion H3O is produced. What is the name of this ion? The name of this ion is hydronium. Hydronium ion, and it is H3O. It is formed by the combination of this proton from hydrogen and water. Why this hydronium is producing? Because this H ion is very unstable. It cannot live alone in water. It has to combine with water to form this hydronium ion, and it is responsible for the pH of the acid. It is known as hydronium H3O, or it can also be known as H aqueous. Hydrogen aqueous is also known as this H3. We can write it like this also. If hydrogen is present in water, then this hydronium is formed. If we combine these two equations, then we will get HCl plus H2O is equal to H3O ion plus chloride ion. So, hydrochloric in water gives hydronium ion and chloride as cation. This is the action of acid on in water. Now next we are coming how to dilute an strong or concentrated acid. We are having three options to dilute the acid. One, we can mix acid to water. Second, we can mix water to acid. And third, we can mix anything with anything. So, these are three options. We will see one by one. Suppose we take first of all the second. Suppose we mix water in acid. This is a beaker. Suppose again hydrochloric acid is there, and we put water from a test tube. This water is put inside this acid. What will happen? This reaction is very much exothermic. Exothermic means it releases lot of heat. When so much heat is released by putting water, water is less, acid is more in the beaker, so much heat is produced and there may be a spurt of this acid, or even the beaker can be broken. So we cannot put water in acid as this reaction is exothermic and it is very dangerous to put water in acid. Now we take the first, suppose this is water, suppose this is water in this, and we are putting acid slowly from one side, slowly from the wall of the beaker we are putting acid. So when acid is put slowly in the beaker of water, more water is there. When acid is mixing slowly, then heat is also produced, it is also exothermic, but this heat is being absorbed by this water because the quantity of water is more. So some heat will be produced by little acid and this heat is absorbed by water, and now we get a dilute acid. So we should always mix acid to water and not water to acid. And this is also, it is not correct. We cannot make either, but we should always mix acid to water to make it dilute. This is very important. Now the next is about the chemical properties of acids. So we will study these chemical properties under 4 heads. acid, reaction of acid with metal, reaction of acid with base, reaction of acid with metal oxide, and reaction of acid with carbonate and bicarbonate of metals. So one thing you have to remember, that in all these four cases salt is produced and water is produced. Salt and water are produced, and in the last one even in these carbonate and bicarbonate, even carbon dioxide is produced. So one thing is there, that salt and water are produced in all the reactions of acid with metal base or metal oxide. So this is one thing. We will take one by one. When acid reacts with water, what happens? Suppose I am writing directly the equations. We have taken HCl and zinc. I should write zinc first. Zinc is a metal, you know, and HCl. Now we will have ZnCl2 and hydrogen, not water. So salt is definitely produced and not water. So hydrogen gas is produced. Zn plus 2HCl is equal to ZnCl2 plus hydrogen gas is produced. Or we can take iron, H2SO4, then we will have FeSO4 plus H2, again hydrogen is released. Suppose we took copper and HCl. Normally we can you can say CuCl2 is formed and H2 is evolved, but this reaction do not takes place. Copper do not react with HCl to form hydrogen. Hydrogen cannot be released from any acid by this copper. Why? For this we have to understand the reactivity series of metal. So in metals and non-metal, you will study this reactivity series in detail, but here also I want to tell you this reactivity series and why this copper is not releasing hydrogen from HCl or H2SO4. So I will writing the reactivity series. It is a series written vertically, and the metals which are on the top of the series, they are more reactive than the metal which are on the lower side. So I am writing so this is the reactivity series. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead. This is the position of hydrogen. Though it is the reactivity series of metals, and hydrogen is not a metal but is also produce a proton or a cation. So it is put here, and these are the lower metals: copper, mercury, silver, gold and platinum. So this is the reactivity series of metals. These metals, the upper metal, this is the most reactive, and slowly the reactivity decreases up to the platinum. You know the symbol of all the metals: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold and platinum. So this is the least reactive, these are noble metals, and these are the most reactive. So the metals which are above hydrogen, they can displace hydrogen from acids, but the metals which are below hydrogen, they are less reactive than hydrogen, so they cannot displace hydrogen from the acids. That's why copper is below hydrogen. Copper cannot displace hydrogen from this acid and no hydrogen gas is formed. These reactions, they are single displacement reaction. These hydrogen, it is displaced by these metals from these acids. So this is when acid reacts with water. When acid reacts with metal. When acid react with, this is the first one, acid react with metal. Zinc is a metal, iron is metal, copper is metal. So if acid reacts with metal, this hydrogen is formed, but copper does not form, does not displace hydrogen from its acid. So this is the first one. Now the second is when acid reacts with a base. Again salt is formed. We can take HCl plus NaOH. So the salt NaCl, common table salt, is formed and water is formed. So this reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction. As acids and base, they both are neutralize each other's acidity and basicity. So the base, it kills the hydrogen ion in the acid, and salt, NaCl, sodium chloride salt, and water is formed. This is the reaction of acid with base. We can take some other also. Suppose this is also a base. Suppose it reacts with H2SO4, then CaSO4 plus H2O will be formed. You balance this equation by yourself. So this is also a neutralization reaction. This salt is formed and water is formed, and acids and base, they neutralize each other. Now we will take the third one. Acid reacts with metal oxide. Metal oxides are also bases. They are basic oxides. Metal oxides, you know, they are basic oxides, and non-metal oxides, they are acidic oxide. Do you know what are non-metal? Like carbon dioxide, SO2, they are non-metal oxides and they are acidic in nature. And the acidic oxide, like with metals, they are basic oxide. So this is the third one, reacts with metal oxides. We can take copper oxide. When it reacts with hydrochloric acid, CuCl2 plus H2O is formed. This is copper oxide, it is black in color, and CuCl2, copper chloride, is formed, which is green in color. So when acid reacts with metallic oxide, which are basic in nature, these oxides, they are basic in nature, again salt and water, it is formed. So this is the third one, with metal oxide. Now the fourth one. Fourth is reaction of acids with carbonates and bicarbonates. So again we are taking the same. Suppose we have taken HCl plus we will take for carbonate sodium carbonate, and what will be formed? Sodium chloride will be formed, carbon dioxide will be formed, and water will be formed. You can write here 2 to here. I think it is balanced. So when carbonates are reacted with acids, carbon dioxide gas is released, and these carbonates and bicarbonates, they are basic in nature, so they neutralize the acid, and salt and water are formed, along with carbon dioxide is also formed. For bicarbonate, we can again take HCl, sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. We will get again NaCl plus CO2 plus H2. Again carbon dioxide is released when acid reacts with sodium bicarbonate or bicarbonate of any metal. Now next, what will we do? We pass this carbon dioxide gas from lime water. This is a very important reaction, and we are doing this reaction from our earlier classes, where we see that lime water, it turns milky due to the passing of carbon dioxide. So all of you know lime water is calcium hydroxide aqueous solution, CaOH whole twice plus CO2. When carbon dioxide is passed in lime water, it is known as lime water, CaOH whole twice. What will happen? Calcium carbonate crystals or particles are formed, and water is formed. This calcium carbonate, it precipitates in the water, and the water become milky. Calcium hydroxide, it become milky due to the presence of this calcium carbonate, which is insoluble in water. This calcium carbonate is, chalk is calcium carbonate, marble is a calcium carbonate, limestone is calcium carbonate. So small particles of calcium carbonate are formed, and it turns lime water milky. So by this we can say the gas is carbon dioxide. But now further, if we go on passing this carbon dioxide for a longer duration, then what will happen? This calcium carbonate, it becomes calcium hydrogen carbonate. Calcium hydrogen carbonate is formed, and H2O plus. So if carbon dioxide is passed for a longer duration in this solution, this calcium carbonate precipitate, it dissolves in water. Dissolves. It is soluble in water for a longer duration. Hydrogen carbonate is soluble. So for a longer duration, if carbon dioxide is passed, calcium hydrogen carbonate is formed, which dissolves in water, and again the solution becomes clear. So this is the reaction of acid with carbonate and hydrogen carbonate, and these are chemical properties of acids. These four. In all the cases, salts are formed, and in one case, the first one, hydrogen is formed, in the all other, water is also formed, in the last one, carbon dioxide is formed. So these are the chemical properties of acids. In the next video, we will do certain more aspects of acids. So this is all for today. Thank you.